Hey, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney and I'm a fragrance and flavor enthusiast. Here on my channel, we mostly explore fragrances, but I sometimes like to throw in other content here and there just for fun. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has viewed, liked, commented, shared, and subscribed. So I was inspired to do this video because apparently it's National Caramel Day in the US. So I was like, okay, content. So I will be sharing with you guys all of the fragrances in my collection that feature the notes of caramel. So let's get into it. So first off, I want to share with you guys all of the fragrance mists that feature a caramel note. So first up, we have Cheirosa 71 from Sol de Janeiro. And this is a super sweet, salty, creamy scent that I really enjoy wearing. I prefer this one over the, I think it's Cheirosa, this is 71, it might be 62, the original one that they have like the perfume for and all of the products that match that scent profile. When I first smelled the range, the 71 was the one that stood out to me the most and I liked the most, hence why it's in my collection. But yeah, this is a beautiful one that has like a nutty quality to it with that macadamia note, but I will say that the caramel to my nose leads, especially when smelling it straight from the nozzle. So that is Cheirosa 71. Next up, we have a fragrance mist from Bath & Body Works, and the scent is Coconut Cream Pie. And this is one that is a pretty literal interpretation of its name. And the caramel is definitely up front as well. I picked that up very easily. And it also smells like coconutty, but in a way that doesn't veer too beachy. Like it literally smells like a coconut cream pie to me, because there's that creamy element as well that I pick up. But yeah, this is a really nice one to wear. Now the next three fragrance mists I have all feature the note of caramel woods. So first up is Pear Creme Brulee. This is also from Bath & Body Works. And this is a somehow juicy baked pear scent that has like that caramelized sugar quality to it. And thankfully it doesn't smell horrendous to my nose, because I've seen some reviews that from people saying that this smelled way off to them. So thankfully it doesn't smell off to me, because pear is actually a scent note that can easily turn my stomach. So the fact that I actually like this is very pleasing to me. But yeah, so this is Pear Creme Brulee. The next one featuring caramel woods is Christmas Cookies. And this is another one where the caramel note definitely leads, at least when I smell it. And it does have that like almond, I think it's biscotti, yeah. So it has like almondy cookie note in here as well. But the caramel quality in here is definitely at the forefront when I smell it. And I really like it. And this is a pretty strong scent as well, at least when I first spray it, and it eventually stops, you know, being as intense as it is when I first spray it on. But yeah, this is a good one and I enjoy wearing it when I want to smell like a cookie. And last up for the fragrance mist, we have Snowflakes and Cashmere. And this is the one that also features caramel woods as a note. Now this is one that has like a kind of aroma chemical-y vibe to me. Let me see if I could tell what it is. I guess the cashmere note in here, because I mean, that's a fantasy note really. But I would say the sweetness that I'm picking up, I attribute it to that caramel note, because nothing else really listed screams sticky sweet to me. And there's like a slight, that sweetness is not necessarily, I don't think that's just the vanilla I'm smelling is what I'm trying to say. And I will say that when I first got Snowflakes and Cashmere in the fragrance mist formulation, I couldn't really smell anything. It really just smelled very much, well, I actually couldn't really smell anything. Let's just put it that way. And I did smell a few other scents that day, so there's a good chance that I was just pretty much anosmic by the time I got to the scent. But now that I've had it in my collection for a few months now, it's easier for me to pick up on the notes as well as to distinguish like what I'm actually smelling. It doesn't really just smell like, it's not even generic or neutral. I can actually smell something, let's just put it that way. So that is Snowflakes and Cashmere. So next up, I want to jump into my dupe fragrances. And first up, I'm going to share the impressions in my collection of designer and niche fragrances that feature the notes of caramel. And I'm going to share with you first the spray formulations, because I have oils that I want to share with you guys as well. So I'll share the perfumes first. And I'm going to say these two together because they're from the same dupe house. So first up, I have two perfumes that are from the Impression House Fragranza. and they are Signorina Miele and Limone e Vaniglia. So Signorina Miele, as you already know, probably if you watched any of my videos, is a dupe of Miss Dior Cherie from Dior. And then Limone e Vaniglia is a dupe of Lira from Xerjoff. So these both feature the notes of caramel. This one is with Signorina Miele. The caramel note, I think, is paired with popcorn. So I think it's more of the caramel popcorn note. But then with Limone e Vaniglia, the caramel is just like a note on its own, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, these are really good scents that I enjoy. I think with Signorina Miele, it's like the sweetness in it is that edible sweetness, but I think the popcorn quality is, you can pick it up, right? But I don't think, when I smell it, I don't think caramel popcorn. I just think of, how do I explain it? Smelling this, I wouldn't just be like, oh, there's popcorn in here. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's balanced and well blended. And then with the Limone e Vaniglia, this is a sweet scent that just has depth to it, and it has like a stickiness to it, which I guess is attributed to that caramel note. But I wouldn't say this is a heavy or dense scent, because it isn't. Even though there's like that stickiness to it, it's not heavy. It's quite, saying it's airy might be pushing it, but it's definitely not heavy. And that's part of why I like it, is that it's sweet without being like too much. So last up for the perfume sprays that I have that are an impression of a perfume is a travel size that I have from Juliana's Perfume. And this is a Night to Remember. And this is an impression of Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. So this is one that has a caramel note in it, but I have to sneeze. Not because of this. Maybe not. Okay. But yeah, so it's a sweet scent that has like a powdery quality to it. Powdery floral, but not like violet powdery, like powdered sugar. Like, I think there's a marshmallow note in Love Don't Be Shy. It's not listed as a note in A Night to Remember, but there's like this, again, there's like a stickiness to it without it being too heavy, which I think helps lend this scent to be one that you could actually wear in warmer weather without it feeling like, you know, too heavy of a scent. But yeah, it is a lovely one, and I'm excited to wear it as the spring season proceeds. So now we're going to be moving into the perfume oils that I have that are impressions of other perfumes. So first up we have the, I guess you could say, okay, if I were to ask you, which scent that is well known, I'm not going to say well liked, but well known, that has 3,952 notes in it, do you think I'm about to tell you that I have an oil impression of? If you said Angel, you are correct. So I have an impression of Angel from Mugler, and this is one that has so many notes. And I used to hate this scent so much when I first smelled it, but as I got more accustomed to different fragrances and different notes, I learned to appreciate Angel a lot more. But this is one that does feature the note of caramel. And to be honest, I don't really, and again, now remember, this is an impression. And also the Angel formulation has changed throughout its existence. So just speaking in terms of this impression, I wouldn't say that I pick up the caramel note like easily, but this is a sweet scent that has like a heavy patchouli quality to it. So this is like a gourmand patchouli scent, but better believe caramel is in here, because there is that sweetness to it. And if I keep searching, like, you know, and maybe stretching a little bit, it's easy for me to say that I smell it, but you know, it in there. And next I have Fancy by Jessica Simpson. And this is one that I really like wearing in the fall. I guess I could pick this out for spring now that I think about it and now that I smell it, because there's a brightness to it. Like, it's a sweet scent, like super sweet, but it does have a brightness to it that makes this very like happy and girly. And I do like it a lot. And I find myself layering this when I want to add like that flirtatious sweetness. And it's good for that. It is good for that. Next up, I have an impression that is an impression of a very popular fragrance that is just known for how sweet it is. And that is none other than Pink Sugar. And this is one that smells like just straight up sugar, all of the sugary things, all of them. So caramel is a note in Pink Sugar. And again, I would say that, because it's like there are quite a number of notes in Pink Sugar, I don't think I would necessarily be like, oh, I could totally smell caramel. It just smells like sugar. And, you know, caramel is technically made from sugar. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, this is another one that's bright and super sweet, but this is a lot more intense in terms of projection than Fancy. And again, you know, I'm basing this off of the perfume oil impression, but based on my experience with this perfume oil and the reviews I've read and heard, this is the performance of this oil competes with the performance of the actual perfume spray from Aquilina in terms of it being like a super strong scent that you don't need a lot of. Like, I don't need a lot of this perfume oil on me in order for it to project and for others to smell me, which is a good thing, which is a very good thing. And I like that. Next up, I have a tiny bebe vial of an impression of Mula Mula from Byron Parfum. And this is one that features a note of oud. And it has like a super duper fruity sweetness to it. And I guess the caramel note in here helps it to not be exclusively fruity in nature, because it doesn't necessarily just smell like a strictly fruity oud, if that makes sense. But this is one that I do like, and I know it's a tiny little ting, but don't need a lot. Do not need a lot. So last up for the perfume oil impressions that I have an impression of Unknown Pleasures from the House of Kerosene. And this is a lemony Earl Grey scent that is quite sweet. And I really do like it. I know when I first got this oil impression, I was like, oh, this smells nice. But the lemon in it was just so overpowering. I think I almost was like allergic to how acidic it was. But when I became more like aware of how I can make fragrances work for me and learned like little ways to like avoid any skin irritation, I was able to find a way for me to use this scent without, you know, breaking out in hives. But yeah, this is a nice one and I really do like it. And I feel like I can pick up on the caramel note because it doesn't just smell like straight up sugar. There's like that depth to it that I think comes from the caramel. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I feel like this would be a good one for spring. I feel like this is one that I like to wear on rainy days because it kind of has like that tea quality and then lemon, which is quite uplifting to me. But yeah, this is a lovely one. So next up, we're diving into the actual perfumes that I have, but I'm going to share the decants and samples that I have first for you guys. And first up, I have Harden Exclusive, and this is from the House of Mancera. And this is one that has that scent profile that I really adore, where it's like a fruity floral gourmand with like unique touches to it. And I think with this one, it comes from the salty and kind of aquatic quality from that ambergris note. I love this so much. I feel like anyone could wear this, but don't because it's mine. But yeah, this is one that I would totally get like a full bottle of just because I don't hear anyone really talking about it, as well as it suits me so well because it has like gourmand notes, including that caramel, but it has strength to it and it's still somehow quite pretty, but it's also not pretty because of some notes. Not saying it's ugly, but it just has like notes in it that stop it from being too like pretty, but more like, oh, that's really pretty. I hope that makes sense. So that is Harden Exclusive. So next up, I have two decants that were included in the Dare to Wear set that I got from Bloom Perfumery. I'll link the video of me trying out those scents for Halloween. Very interesting stuff. But anyway, I was brave and I went through the decants that I got, because I've pretty much been avoiding smelling those scents. Please watch the video to see why. But I was like, let me just check to see if any of the fragrances that I got actually include caramel, and 2 of them did. So I'm gonna share them with you right now. I mean, honestly, I've been literally like avoiding going into that container to take out the scents from that. Please just watch the video. You'll see why. So first up, we have Sideshow from Grigri, and this is one that's described as bubblegum and leather whips. So there is a caramel note in here in the middle. I haven't smelled this in months. So it has like a sweetness to it, but it also has like a real roughness as well. Yeah. It's like a leathery, a sweetish, leathery scent that is not as playful as the top and heart notes would imply. So it has top notes of strawberry. Oh, speaking of strawberry, go watch my strawberry video. I'll link that up above as well. And the heart notes of apple and caramel. And then the base notes of, I can't remember how to pronounce this, Heracium, Heracium. One of those must be right? Leather and Tolubon. But yeah. I may potentially consider bringing this one out just because I haven't smelled it in so long. But this is one that's attention grabbing. At least if I were to smell someone, I would be like, And the last one I have is Du Le Doux from Vogue Profumo. And this is one that also features a caramel note right up in there. And this one is described as razor laced melons. Whoo, do I smell it? Why not? Oh, God. This is such an intense scent. The notes don't suggest something off-putting, but ooh-wee. Such a weird one. Such a weird one. It's like there's so much stuff going on that it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I totally pick up the caramel. Maybe on skin it would, you know, be easy, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to put this on me though. I don't know. So last up, I have 3 perfumes in my collection that are all designer fragrances that I want to share with you guys that feature the note of caramel. And first up, we have La Nuit Trésor from Lancôme, and this is the 2015 formulation. I'm pretty sure at one point, I can't remember if it was 2018 or 2019, the formulation was reformulated and it became a lot more simplified. But this is the one that features all of like the papyrus and the incense. But caramel is also a note that's in here, and I smell it very easily right now. I smell that caramel note. And this is also one that I would say is like a fruity scent that has depth to it. And it is quite sexy. Yeah, totally date night appropriate. Sexy date night scent. So that is La Nuit Trésor. Next up, we have Illicit, and this is from Jimmy Choo. And this is one that is like a spicy, gingery, orange blossom scent, right? But it has sweetness to it that I feel like as it wears on my skin, the sweetness comes out a lot more, and the dry down is like super sexy because it doesn't really, it just smells like, on me, it's like a my skin but sexier in the dry down, like the deep dry down. But yeah, there is a caramel note in here, which I think is really beautiful. And yeah, this is another one that's, I would say, is a really good date night scent too, now that I smell it again. Yeah, it's a good one. And last up, we are ending with an Angel Star, and this iteration is Angel Eau Sucrée, and this is the 2017 formulation. They have a few Angel Eau Sucrées, and this is just the 2017 one, and there's a difference. They all feature like different notes, but this one does feature caramel as a note. And we just spray it a little bit. Yeah, so there's like I would say it almost has like a camphoric kind of quality to it, but it's like tart, a little sour, mentholated a little bit to my nose, but there's like an underlying sweetness that comes out, especially when worn on the skin. But there's like that sugary quality, you know, hence the name. But there is like a super sugary sweet quality to this scent that I really do like. And I feel like even though it's like a sweet scent, the qualities about it that I expressed earlier is what helps it not just be like a generic sweet scent, you know what I mean? And I do really enjoy this one, I do. So that was super fun. It's always fun to like compile lists, at least I have fun doing that, and to see and realize how much particular notes are featured in the fragrances that I have in my collections. That's always really intriguing to me. So please let me know down below in the comment section which fragrances in your collection that feature caramel are your absolute favorite. I am super curious. So if you liked this video, like this video, and if you haven't already, I implore you to subscribe for more content. And if you want to show more support to my channel, feel free to buy me a bubble tea. All the information is listed down below in the description. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you later. Bye! This is an Easter egg for what the next video is going to be about. And dirty bottle. These lights are so bright. So last up for the perfume oil impressions, I have an impression of Unknown Treasures. This is when I had fragrances that I got from, what they called? I don't remember. Let's just go to my page. Soon I will be the only one. Bloom. There you go, Whip. So next up I have two tea cans. So now that we're at, excuse me. So last up I very throaty. No, the next video is actually about this.